The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Hey, you! Wake up!
It's the Mid-Missouri Homegrown Show with Bob Ice on 93.5 Mike FM, Osage Beach.
Alrighty, good morning, Lake of the Ozarks. This is Bob Ice, your host of the Mid-Missouri Homegrown Show, and I want to welcome aboard our new sponsor, S&L Custom Guitars, located on the Strip across from Casablanca. Go in there and say hi to Steve and Lori, and they will build you a guitar to your specs. Well, this week I've got a great show lined up for you. I've got in the studio with me this morning Andy Foster. Good morning, Andy.
Hi, Bob.
And we're going to be listening to his band Open Sunday from St. Louis. It's called Flashes of Adequacy.
That's right.
And now, Andy, you're originally Lake local, correct?
Yeah, born and raised here, Camdenton. Same house, same bedroom all my life, you might say, till I went off to college, I guess, at Columbia. And been gone ever since, but, for what it's worth, we came back to the Midwest wanting the seasonal life, instead of what you get at the East Coast or West Coast, which we both, my wife and I, experienced. And we just love it here in the Midwest, and we're glad to be back here in the Ozark area. And, of course, St. Louis is just the closest place I could get with the work I do. So
right.
What I do nowadays is work hard and play hard, of course, and music's my gig. So thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely. Well, let's just go ahead and kick down the first track. Get Yourself on a Motorbike. Tell me about that song. Well,
actually, it's one that I wrote about the baby boomer frenzy of people going out and buying bikes at the age of 40 and 50. I mean, there's this craziness going on in the neighborhood, and everybody seemed to be buying these chopper bikes and the Harley bikes, and even my best friends from high school were driving up to see me at shows, riding their bikes and stuff from Springfield and Columbia, and it was just kind of maddening. So one day I sat down with a biker buddy of mine that was in the band at the time, Philmo, who was affiliated with Doc Harley in St. Louis. And we just started putting together some madness about how this is happening. So I don't know. It's about the vogueness of motorcycles today. With the white-haired people, of course, the baby boomers.
All right, this is Get Yourself on a Motorbike by Open Sunday.
Crazy, old and the young and the motorcycle frenzy. On every highway and shopping mall, so many choppers can't handle them all. Now I got one in my neighborhood. It don't sound muffled like a good boy would. Leaving the rubber in the cul-de-sac and flipping off the bird as he's yelling back. He says, "Get yourself on a motorbike. Get yourself down the road tonight." I said, "Get yourself on a motorbike. Get yourself down the road tonight." I said, "Get yourself on a motorbike on the road tonight." Offended, you can all kiss off. Get yourself on a motorbike. Get yourself down the road tonight. Get yourself on a motorbike. Get yourself down the road tonight. tonight. I said, get yourself on a motorbike up the road tonight. The rice burners with all the names that are hard to pronounce. You got Kawasaki with the four-stroking engines throwing the mud all over the competition. You got the Yamahas that screams its name as it shifts with the gears. It goes Yamaha. The gold wings move through the air. You can hardly hear it sing. Get yourself on a motorbike. Get yourself on the road tonight. I said, get yourself on a motorbike. Get yourself on the road tonight. I said, get yourself on a motorbike on the road tonight. For all kinds of scenes, the market's been revised, if you know what I mean. With the 3 wheels, the 4 wheels, the ATVs, hauling tons of gear to the world's extremes, dragging back the trophies and dust to foul, keeping the bellies full of the tender press kill. You don't have to carry those heavy guns, just strap yourself a motor and rack your buns. Cause you get yourself on a motorbike, get yourself on the road tonight. Listen, get yourself on a motorbike. Get yourself on the road tonight. I said, get yourself on the motorbike. Road tonight. Motorbike. Get yourself on a motorbike. Get yourself on a motorbike. Get yourself on a motorbike.
Yeah.
Get yourself on a motorbike.
Talking to Andy Foster with Open Sunday.
Yeah.
Let's introduce the band and who's on this CD.
Yeah, we've got quite a guild of players that helped make this CD. This is our first CD. It took us about 6 years to put together. But the core members, of course, myself and Bart Berry, he and I have been writing music together for over 10 years. So we pretty much split the bill when it comes to playing music out. He's got his selections, of course, that he's done some wonderful writing with. Paul Oldman is our keyboard player, been with us 6 or 7 years. Sam Ferranto does the bass work on this, along with several other fellas, and the folks that buy the CD would see that there's a lot of different players on the CD. But Sam did a lot of work with us in the early years. Chaz, lead guitar, Philmo on lead guitar, of course. Tim Nelson does our percussion work and congas, bongos, and a lot of the shaky stuff. He's a man from the hood where I live there in St. Louis. Keith Dickerson is our drummer. He's the Keith Boone of the band, if you know what I'm talking about. Just always got a smile and a joke, on the wit. And then we've got quite a few sidemen that come and join us. Kevin Rauscher plays trumpets with us. Rob Cunningham, tremendous sax player. BK does a lot of shows with us, still playing with us, of course, in gigs. Pretty much rounds out the 8-9 piece band that we have when we're playing out.
So normally you play with that big a band when you guys play out?
Yeah, pretty much so. I mean, we don't have the 3-piece, 4-piece group. It's a pretty good sized band, and we put on a pretty big show.
Cool. Well, let's listen to another track. Let's listen to Good Stuff. What's that about?
Good Stuff. I wrote this about a good friend of mine in St. Louis. It's a kind of a country two-step number about a guy that's breaking up with his wife. I mean, it kind of goes with the country scene, I guess, but it's about that. It's about a fellow that walked into a bar one day and said he's finally over her, And, the realization comes in as he starts to get a little drunk and says to himself, I wish I was over you, but, he's doing his best to get over it. And it's a story about that. Good
All right,
stuff.
this is The Good Stuff by Open Sunday.
Break out the good stuff. I'm gonna tear it up. The paper's not worth holding if you can't be true. Get out the good stuff. I'm gonna fire one up. I was in love with the good stuff, and now I'm over you. I was a man after your father gave me your hand. The times we're together, both of us living life on our own. But when we're sharing, we're never daring close to the heart. And nothing worth living, and wishing that we were back at the start. Pour me the good stuff. I'm gonna down a bunch and stand right next to the jukebox and sing out all night long. Leave out the good stuff until I've had enough. Help me up and walk me on out to my bus. With education comes a desire for a life on your own. So for a while we spent time alone. A kingdom, a castle, watching the walls come crumbling down. It opens a new view, we're glad to see I'm upward bound. Now she's gone, I'm not buried on top of the world. Here is the music, the ringing jubilee. All my close friends gathered around me when I was so blue. I'm gonna make it, and all this time I think that you. I want the good stuff. I wanna shake it up and pop the cork and watch it spray all over the room. She wants the good stuff, and now I've had enough. I was in love with the good stuff, and now I'm over you. Oh yeah, I was in love with the good stuff. I wish I was over you. Oh no, I was in love with the good stuff. I was in love with the good stuff. I was in love with the good stuff. Now I'm over you. Somebody bring me that bottle of moonshine over here. Bring out the good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right, we got the good stuff. Good morning.
Hello to the hub city of the Ozarks, by the way. All my friends and relatives that still live around there.
Yeah, well, you do still have a lot of relatives around here. Dan Foster, who plays guitar.
Yeah, Dangerous Dan. Huh?
Dangerous Dan, Dr. Dan. You find him once in a while, sits in with Dale Blue quite a bit, and once in a while he'll end up on the stage with us. Yeah.
One of my favorite coined phrases he told me a long time ago. Dan says, I find them, I drill them, I fill them, and bill them.
Yeah, for those that you don't know, Dr. Dan, he's a dentist.
Yeah.
Here in town. All right, well, let's just jump right into the next song, Nighthawks.
Sure, if I can. This was probably my first song that I wrote as a musician, and I wrote this in my little house that I have down here on Pelican Point, which is near Hahatonka State Park. And it's written about my mom and dad's restaurant in Camdenton. For those of you that were around in the 70s and late 80s, the Nighthawk restaurant is located, I guess, on the west side of the square in Camdenton. And Mom and Dad bought that back in, 48 or 46, 45, I guess the song will tell you. And it's my reflections on growing up there and being in the restaurant all my life. And it's probably one of my best orchestrated numbers. I'm very proud of it. And I think it represents the community as a whole, because it was the hub of a whole lot of social activity during the 60s and 70s and into the early 80s. And I did my best to represent that for the community and for the mom and pop restaurants across the countries that are dwindling and fading out, of course. But Nighthawks, by all means, one of my most favorite songs I ever did.
All right, well, this is an absolutely Lake of the Ozarks homegrown tune. This is Nighthawks.
This goes out to my mom, Anna Mae, by the way.
All right, Nighthawks.
Oh, say, can you see? There's a little restaurant on the west side of our town, and everyone's been there, and at least that's the way it sounds. Vinyl booths, salad bars, pies back there every day. This ain't no chain boat, no, this is the family way. We're talking about the Nighthawks restaurant with the gift shop on the side. Coffee talks at 9:05, county politics on the pride. Big men and wannabes politely exchange thoughts, and everyone in that small town knows who walks and talks the talk. Hardly ever changes hands, last time in 45. The postcards can tell it all, that place was really alive. Ma Bell's construction workers caught eggs and ham at dawn. They packed their lunch and headed out before I knew it, they were gone. Talking about the Nighthawks Royal Room with the Rotary Club and JC's. They hung their flags and banners and tried to help many. Growth and wealth and partnerships were born there every day. Now this is the rural town way.
Man, what's up with the planes today?
Other men who work the field seem to treat it like it's home. And all the time they're spitting there, you'd think that they were drawn. With leathered hands and worn out hats and cigarette smoky breaths. When they got up from their plates, you know there wasn't nothing left. We're talking about the Nighthawks, Boulder lanes that open after 5. We got your boots and some fun shoes and roll a 209. We talking about the Nighthawks, the manual pins, you know the ones without machines. Those who visit regularly roll 300 in their dreams.
boss's big boy to the teenager, to the college-bound hope stride. Bigger and better isn't what you call home. It's familiar places and friends, and that's what it meant to all of us at that small town eater inn. We're talking about the hearts that hang out at the school and games and dates. We talking about the hearts, the cafe that was always open late. We talking about the hearts, melting pot cakes and town to be. Nighthawks restaurant that lives in you and me.
All right, we're back. That was Nighthawks by Open Sunday. I'm sitting here with Andy Foster.
Howdy do.
Listen to some Open Sunday. We're going to go to commercial break. We'll be right back with segment 2 of the Mid-Missouri Homegrown Show on 93.5 Mike FM.